Hello, everyone, and welcome to another playoff preview here on High Top Sports Network, brought to you by Sprankle's Neighborhood Market, #SaveOnMeat. I'm Jake DeLuca, and today I'm joined by Armstrong Riverhawks varsity girls basketball head coach Kirk Lorigan, fresh off the school's first postseason win in school history. They did that by defeating Franklin Regional by a pretty comfortable margin, 59-41. So my first question for you, Kirk, is just how was that night for you guys? And it had to be pretty good getting that first win and getting it on your home court.
Absolutely, it felt great. I mean, the girls played really well. I mean, there's no doubt about it. It was nice. We got a few practices which it was the first time we had consecutive practices for, a few weeks. Got out of sync with some things in the middle of the season, but, we knew we could play better. And, we knew we had an opportunity in front of us that may not happen again. You don't know what the WPIAL is going to do in the future. So we really thought we cherished the moment. We were pretty excited when we found out we got the home game. We were expecting it with where we thought we'd be in the standings and in the rankings. But we cherished the opportunity to play a home playoff game. And it was really an awesome feeling to get that first playoff win in the 6-year history of the school at home in front of our fans. And even though it was a smaller crowd than normal, fans, some of our students and some friends and family were all there. And it was just a really great feeling. And the girls really deserved a lot of credit for the execution and the way they played, especially early in the game and then the way they closed it out.
And unfortunately, you guys can't celebrate that forever. And next up, you got a pretty tough matchup against Woodland Hills. I'm sure you've done your fair share of scouting in preparation for this, but what do the Wolverines do so well, and how do you plan on slowing them down?
They're big. I mean, they have 3 6-footers, that rotate in and out of their lineup. They've got a couple freshman 6-footers who contribute. They've got their best player is a 6-footer, Peyton Pinckney. She's a really solid player. And then they've got 3 guards who have some experience, and they're quick. They do a lot of good things. And, our big thing is we just got to make sure that we're not allowing them to get easy looks in the paint. We have to make sure we're trying to make those bigs catch the ball outside the block. We don't want them catching the ball, any closer than six feet away from the rim. We don't want them catching those balls and dropping a 2-footer. We want to try to push them out there, get them 6, 8, 10 feet away from the rim. Make them do something out there. So, pack some things in a little bit, make sure our help side's where it needs to be on that, and continue to close out the shooters. We're comfortable in what we do, guarding the guards in terms of how we get the shooters, whether we're playing man, whether we're playing zone. We're comfortable with how our guards defend and how we defend the perimeter and getting those hands up on those threes. We know they like to shoot it too. And most teams that have a lot of 6-footers, the guards enjoy that because you can fire up some long balls from the outside and let the bigs mop up your messes and net won't mop up the miss. So we're going to try to do our best at continue to box out on some of those. We know good offenses sometimes just score, and we expect Woodland Hills to be able to convert offensively a few times, or to try to minimize those chances by minimizing the touches they get inside, and also doing our best to box out the bigs and not letting long rebounds happen to the guards and minimize those second chance opportunities.
Yeah, you mentioned guard play and defending those 6-foot bigs that they have inside. And I thought that Kyla did a pretty good job coming on at the end of the season there. And, you had some youth going into the season, and I thought they'd proven themselves a pretty good bit here so far and heading into the playoffs too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. People seem to forget, even though those kids played a lot of basketball and those freshmen coming in, we've only played 15 games as a unit. I mean, we didn't get any off-season games. We talked about that. And even this point in the year, usually you've got 22 regular season games in plus a playoff game. And then usually we'll play 30 or 35 off-season games. So basically at this time, we usually have 50, 55, 60 games in together as a group. We have 15 in. And those young kids have done a nice job of inserting themselves in there and finding their way. I think Kyla has learned a lot, especially at the defensive end. She's always been pretty good there, but it's been a little easier when you're a 6-footer and, she can block some shots. But now that there's a lot of other 6-footers that are coming in, and she's really learned how to position her body, and she's done a very nice job of that learning curve. And it's had to be a little bit quicker because we're in the postseason, with a shorter amount of games than usual.
Yeah, and just to, we got off on the bigs there for a second, but both Shay and Emma had great games against Woodland Hills. And really, I mean, all season long, they've been a problem for teams. Are you expecting another big performance from them tomorrow? And, if they do go off, what's it going to take?
Absolutely. Shea and Emma they bring it every game, even sometimes when they're not scoring as much, they're still a threat, and it opens some things up for other kids. But for sure, those two are going to be a focal point of what we're going to try to do offensively. But I think really Lane Miller has been exceptional too the last few games. When you think about what Lane has done, and even though we lost against Hampton, she really sparked us offensively early. She's had a lot of good games. She played very, very well against Franklin Regional, and we expect a lot from her on a defensive end too. She always guards the best shooter for the other team, and generally every time you watch her play, Lane is holding their leading scorer, their best shooting guard, below their average. So she's always been pretty good, but she's taken advantage of the opportunity she's had offensively lately. But it's going to take a team effort from everyone. Olivia Yancey had a really nice game the other night against Franklin Regional too. I mean, I don't know if you got to see a lot of it, but she had a huge second quarter. She had a couple drives, hit a big three in transition. She did a lot of really good things. So those kids are starting to step it up offensively as well. So it's taking that burden off, and it's making teams guard us at in other areas. So it loosens some things up for Emma and Shea. And if those kids continue to do that, I think that you'll see Emma and Shea do what they do. And then, it allows that balance, that scoring to be a little more balanced than it was at times earlier in the season.
For sure. And, speaking about earlier in the season, you guys started off as red hot as you could, kind of cooled off there a little bit, but now back in the playoffs, you're coming off this huge win. Coaches always say they want to play their best basketball during the playoffs. Do you think that you guys are there right now?
I think that's the best game we've played in a month. For sure, the other night against Franklin, it really did help that we got, again, some practices in, and we played 6 of those games in the middle of that season where we only got 2 practices amongst those 6 games. And I know a lot of teams are going through that, but it's real difficult with a young team when you're not getting an opportunity to prepare the way that you wanted to prepare, and when you're not getting the opportunity to fix some things that are happening that are easy fixes if you just have a couple hours in the gym. But getting a few of those practices in last week to get some good preparation for Franklin, which we did, and get an opportunity to work out some of the kinks and just get the kids back in the gym as a unit, and playing as one again was a big factor for us, I think, Monday night. And the kids really stepped up and took advantage of it. And, I think we're ready to go. I mean, I think at this point, that's as good of a game as we've played for quite some time. So we're definitely trending in the right direction.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And, another thing for you here, you guys, ever since Armstrong's been a school, you guys have always been kind of known for your stingy defense. And as it stands now, you guys are 3rd in all of Class 5A in the WPIAL in defense, letting up just a little under 39 points per game, only behind Trinity and Chartiers Valley. So that's not too bad competition, or not too bad to be in that light. But how much will defense make a factor in tomorrow's game?
It has to be. I mean, it's huge. I mean, defense travels, and, we feel like one of the reasons we put so much time into our defense is because you can take it on the road with you. Occasionally this year, once or twice, we forgot to get on the bus with us, which is why that number's a little even higher at 38.8 than we want it to be. But, we know defense travels. And when we look at teams, and we really don't try to defend their plays, we try to defend the actions that they do the most. So we really defend those actions. And we're prepared for a lot of different things because the way we practice our defense and with the focus we put on that. So we expect that, we think we have an idea of what they're going to try to do. And we really worked hard on that today at practice and a little bit yesterday on what we think is going to work and how we want to force them out of what they do, and how that's going to transition into what we want to do. So, I think it'll be huge. I think, if we try to get into a track meet and the game gets into the 60s, I think it could be trouble, for us. But, I think we have some thoughts as to what we can do defensively to try to limit those opportunities. And if that doesn't work, we've got some backup plans. And then moving forward, hopefully that transitions us into a little bit of offense and allows us to put some points on the board as well, that maybe we can do some things to create some havoc to them defensively as well with what we're going to try to do on offense.
Yeah, for sure. And, we touched on this game, coming up against Woodland Hills, but I know that you don't like to look too far ahead, but I got to ask this. What'll it take for you guys to keep on going here and not only compete, but put yourselves in a position to win the WPIAL?
Oh, wow. Holy cow. We're going to have to play great basketball. I haven't even looked really past, tonight would be the night I start to look at what might be in the next round. Not because we're being presumptuous, just because, there's not a lot of time to prepare for practice on Friday. Between when we, if we win tomorrow and if we're successful tomorrow in the game. But just continual preparation, continual hard work by the girls, and give them the opportunity to get out there and put them in positions to do what they're capable of doing, and, keep that defense rolling. I mean, there's some great teams left that we have to get through. I mean, there's not a team now that's not good. Mars was the 16 seed, and you saw we split with them this year. So everybody, you got Trinity and Char Valley that are kind of the class of 5A. And then everybody else from there, everybody can beat everybody. I mean, Hampton at the 3 spot in the rankings is 3rd. They lost to Fox Chapel twice. We beat Fox Chapel twice, even though Hampton beat us twice. So I think at this point, 3 to 16 can beat anybody. And I just think you just have to continue to bring your A game, be focused, be prepared. Try to leave no stone unturned in what the other teams are going to do. And hopefully, we make a few shots and that's what it takes. You just have to, and you got to have the ball's got to bounce your way sometimes in the playoffs. Back in 2004, when we made a run at Freeport, we had a lot of nice bounces that went our way. And every year you make the playoffs, you look back and you think, wow, that did work out for us. That bounce went our way. At the same time, some things don't go your way, but you got to have some things happen for you. But, luck is when preparation meets opportunity. And, we know we're doing our best to prepare, and we know the opportunities are going to be there. So if we can get some good bounces to go our way and we continue to play great basketball, we're not quite sure how high the ceiling is for these kids, but we know that it's up there.
Yeah. Like you said, no easy out when it comes to playoff time. Every team has just as much of a chance to go out there and win as any other team. And, it's the best of the best now. Absolutely. Like I said, there, when Mars is your 16 seed, that's a pretty good, pretty deep group of teams in 5A right now. So, winning a couple games is definitely something to be proud of, and being left with this particular group of 16 is something that we're proud of. But we believe that we have the capabilities to do a little bit more here and see how far we can take it. And it certainly isn't going to be because of lack of effort from the coaches, and I guarantee it won't be lack of effort and heart from the girls, because every time they go out, they give us everything they have, and they're proud to wear those uniforms, and they're proud to represent their community and play hard. No doubt about it. It's an exciting time to be a basketball fan, and an even more exciting time to be an Armstrong Riverhawks fan. I appreciate that, Jake. Thanks a lot. We appreciate everything you guys have done, and feel awful that you guys can't be there over the course of the next couple games. And, wish you could be for sure, because you guys have been real positive and been great to all the programs here in the Armstrong School District, especially at Armstrong High School as well. And our program, I know, can't thank you enough, and a lot of thanks from the school as well. Yeah, I mean, nobody wants to be there more than us, Kirk. I know that for sure. And, that's a conversation for another day why we can't exactly be there. But, just know our hearts are there. Yeah, I know it. I know for sure. And know that our hearts are with you. And we're looking for you guys, too, in those post games. I miss you guys. I missed you guys on Monday night. Absolutely, Kirk. Well, hey, I appreciate you taking the time out and talking to me here. And that's another playoff preview in the books. Tomorrow, it's Armstrong at Woodland Hills, and it's going to be a great matchup for sure. Make sure you keep locked on to High Top Sports Network. This playoff preview, of course, brought to you by Sprinkles Neighborhood Market. And until next time, I've been Jake DeLuca. Special thanks to Kirk Lorigan once again, and good luck to the Lady Hawks. Thank you much, Jake. Appreciate it.